may I invite to the stage our moderator, Mr. James Fern, Chief Client and Growth Officer of WPP Media. Our panelists, Ms. Trần Nguyễn An Ninh, Chief Marketing Officer and Sustainability Nestle Waters Vietnam, Ms. Nguyễn Tâm Anh, Skincare Category Lead and Global Symbol Brand Director, Unilever, Mr. Tanya Chatat, Altanukune, VP Corporate Marketing Officer, CP Vietnam, and Mr. Trần Minh Hoàng, Head of Marketing PepsiCo Foods Vietnam. Please, we would like to welcome you all to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Hello, panel. Great to be here. Thank you for waiting for us. I know this is what you've been waiting for. I should start with introductions, and I'm pleased to say that your job titles are on the board behind you, so I shouldn't mess it up. To my left, I have Nin, who is the Chief Marketing and Sustainability Officer at Nestle Waters, La Vie. I have Taman from Unilever, Skincare Category Lead and Brand Director for Simple globally. I have Mr. Huang, PepsiCo Marketing Director for Foods. And I have Tan, VP Corporate Marketing for CP Vietnam. Fantastic panel. Thank you all for joining me this afternoon. We are going to talk about long-term brands and the importance and the power of long-term brands in the next 25 minutes or so. We have to start by really understanding what an impactful and successful long-term brand means. When we go about proving that a brand has had long-term success, what does that look like? How do we measure that? How do we prove that? Huang, maybe we could start with you.
Hi, everyone, and thanks, James, for your questions. So to me, it's the first brand in mind and first choice in store. You know what? In snacking category, brands are tiltable. It means consumers are not loyal with our brands. 70% of snack users just buy that brand 1 to 2 times a year. So they really like buyer and they are not loyal to the brand. Therefore, the battle here, just not only in the mind, but also in the store. So our marketing job to be done is we need to build a brand distinctively in the mind, what we stand for. And then we need to ensure that when we install through right backside, right pricings, and also right visibility distribution. Yeah, and it will make my life much easier with the sales growth every month.
Okay, I think amazing when he mentioned about the sales growth every month on that. So because we share about work in the F&B, so we share some similarity. In my definition about to have a long-term brand growth, so we need to have two keywords. The first one about the strong brand equity, and the second one about the strong business impact. So strong brand equity, it means like we have a very clear brand positioning with a clear DNA. If we recall about one brand, we can immediately think about one keyword about that brand. For example, we think about Coke, we think about happiness immediately. The second thing about like it have a strong business impact. So it means with that a strong brand equity, it can generate sales, like he just mentioned about monthly sales. I mentioned about sales is more maybe in the longer term. And it means like we generate about the organic demand with the consumer. So they feel they have our product have a really clear role in the daily life. And so it can generate like the organic demand. Yeah. So two keywords, strong brand equity and the strong business impact.
Right. Coming from completely different dynamics. I mean, twice a year is actually tough. Right. So CP Vietnam actually do business from farm to family. So we also start from animal feed, we do farming, and we do food production. So let's talk about the B2B side, the farmer side. So we complement this conversation a bit. So for us, in the context of the farmers, the long-term high-impact brands are those that go through seasonal, day after day, earning trust from the farmers. Because they don't just buy it for their own consumption. Their livelihood depends on it. So they invest, they buy this, they expect the return. So it's really what is in it for them, which is cut very deep if it doesn't turn out to be right. And with that, what would earn us the long-term impact is very simple, the quality that we bring to life. With the good quality, with the good consistency, then it allows the marketing to start doing the conversation. So this fundamental truth has to be whole in terms of B2B side. And through every season, through every crisis, through every cycle, we got chosen all the time. And that's what matters, both for us and also for our farmers. Yep.
Thank you. You called it out, and it's a very salient observation. We have three people here steeped in CPG and one in a very different category. All those categories have a certain dynamism and transformation that underpin them. And therefore, now that we know, if you like, what success looks like in terms of long-term brand building, in the context of the dynamics of the market and category in which you operate, what are the key principles that you would say are fundamental to getting us to where we need to get to? And maybe Taman, we'll start with you there.
So maybe I'll share a little bit around the tension that we're currently facing. So we increasingly living in the era of algorithms, so everyone is chasing volumes, chasing hooks, how we're able to tap onto the signals and win those algorithms. So for example, in beauty care, on average, a brand can generate 300,000 pieces of content a year. And my team told me recently that the best performing content that optimized by algorithm towards conversion is the content with the cat meme. I'm selling skincare. I'm not sure why cat meme contributed to the performance of this algorithm. But if I'm being dramatic, and let's imagine my competitors are also looking at the data and seeing cat memes becoming, very good at optimizing towards this algorithm, then obviously then we are living in the age where everyone is optimizing towards exactly the same thing. And we are almost living in the age of sameness. Everyone is the same, right? And then the question is, how does that build up to the long-term memory structures of the brand? And the second tension that we're experiencing, especially in beauty, is the e-commerce boom, right? And especially in beauty, almost sometimes 60% of the market is actually coming from e-commerce. And that creates the pressure for us to invest more and more in performance marketing, on retail media, and of course in offline channels as well, investment into the channels in retail. So then the more we grow in e-com, it's great, the growth is coming, but then it also means the more we need to fuel that machine. And then the more it takes away from the brand spends that we can do to build our long-term. So that was the challenge that we are facing right now. And obviously the logical way to think about this is we can optimize our channel-led investment for better ROAS, better efficiency, so that we can protect the brand building investment. But another way to look at that is actually the consumer journey is no longer linear like it used to be before, and the funnels have collapsed. So something that actually perceived to be a short-term goal or short-term investment, in channel investment, for example, or performance media, actually builds up and builds the long-term equity of the brand, and vice versa, the long-term can also build towards the short-term. So then the challenge would be how we ensure that every single action that we take in short-term, for the short-term goals, in-store, channel-led, or wherever, a lower funnel, that also builds up the memory structures towards the longer-term equity of the brand. And that's the discipline and the courage to be able to do that.
Would you like to build on that point?
Yeah. In my 20 years of working in marketing, I see one consistent principle to build a brand in short-term sales and also in long-term brand equity. This is product is hero. So it means how our product can satisfy the consumer need in an evolving way. and also superior than the competitors. Consumer now really smart. They will buy the brand not only coming from the communication, it comes from the real product experience. And I will give you two examples. The, with limited investment, A&M, and more efficient A&M. The first example is the X-Men for Boss, the premium 5 fragrance male rooming brand, and I took charge this brand from 2015 to 2020. There was so limited investment on this brand, but we have a very strong insight and proposition built on this brand is for consumer who aspire to the success their young age. And our differentiation is find a fragrance perfume. You just smell it once, you will remember it, and you will turn into the user. Because it's so distinctive and it's superior than all of the competitor in the male grooming category. And you know what? Awareness may be not high because we don't have the budget. But the people aware of X-Men for Boss feel it's so distinctive. Therefore, just with the investment, the brand will fly. And during my time, it grew 20 to 30% every year. Second example on Lay's. The context is the Lay's just 7 years in Vietnam. And we face a very strong competitor who already in Vietnam 20 years. So on the first day in 2019, we already defined the brand strategy building on unique core product quality. So just name one our Lay's core product is a nori seaweed. You know what? This product consistently win every year since the 2019 to 2026. And we invested heavily on the product. We have the mechanism of tracking the product quality every year, at least twice a year, to understand consumer change their behavior, change their preference, or what is the competitor doing well. We never stand still. Normally, marketing mistake is develop the product, win, stop it. We don't have the mechanism to track it every year, every quarter, every like once or two a year. So therefore, we win. And now we become the number one in BC potato chips in Vietnam just after 7 years. And last thing is there is an E-Mark downstairs in the basement. So just try X-Men for Boss and Lay's no receive it. You will love it. And my sale number this month will be good.
Well, that explains why I buy Lay's more than twice a month. Correct. So correct. So fundamentally, it's a product because it's a moment of truth, right? So I used to be with P&G. They talk first moment of truth, second moment of truth. Same for us. The moment people use it, it's bad. Marketing is a magnifier, multiplier, whatsoever. You can't magnify bad into good. It's hard.
Yeah, I find it's really interesting and fully agree because previously I think I'm working in the water and previously I think all water is the same. But even in the water company, we also find how to make our water better than competitor. And I come in a different angle, the perspective. I just want to ask you guys, how many people in the room you are in the new role? Because has been in the new role for 2 months. And then my subordinate asked me the question, hey, do you change any direction or any brand positioning and the value under your regime? That is one of the questions I received from my team member. And I think the key fundamental I want to rise for to create the long-term impact for the brand, I think the one key was consistencies. Because I answer to my team, we need to review the brand. If the brand is doing well in the brand power, why need we change them? We need to put the brand even before the marketer ego. I don't need to show my ego. I need to protect and accelerate the brand growth. So consistencies is my first keywords to my team member, and now I want to share with you. The second thing about agility is also my mission in my new role about we need to adapt with the consumer evolution. Even though, for example, in my brand in Lavi, we know about the vitality. 5 years ago, we associate vitality, it means we have some me time moment in the mountain, in rainforest. And now we know that it takes time, take effort, take money for us to travel, to have a 1 week healing. It's like to the rainforest. We need a little sale moment in the busy life. So that's why we need to evolve. And in the next year or even next 5 years, we need to keep like evolution for the brand to keep like fit with the consumer. Yeah. So agility is another keyword. I think it's become the principle to build a brand with a long-term impact. So in sum up, I have a 2 keywords: consistencies and agility to grow for the brand.
Thank you. And if I was to try and summarize all of that into a couple of themes, everything's on a continuum. And I think at one end of the continuum, we've got fundamentals, right? Get the product right, get the distribution right, the pricing, etc. Get that right. On the other end of that continuum, you've got adaptability, you've got changing consumer behavior, you've got the need to innovate, you've got the need to stay relevant in culture and to individuals. So at either ends of those spectrum, I'm just going to ask, maybe to put you on the spot a little bit, are there some fundamentals that might be more important than others? Are there rules that guide how you should and shouldn't innovate? Any thoughts?
So actually, the team here talk a lot about innovation. And I think to your point, right, so the consistency is also about not only what you say yes to, but also what you say no to, right? So, for example, in innovation as well, yes, we need to keep evolving with the trends and with the consumers, but we need to understand consistently what we stand for as a brand. And even in innovation, be very, very selective where we innovate and not just follow and run after the trends even for innovations, but innovate something that builds up towards the core of the brand. So for example, I'm working on Simple Skincare, which is a clean beauty brand, and we're known for ensuring we don't have any irritating ingredients in our product. Now in the market, skincare, it's booming with hundreds and thousands of ingredients coming every year and becoming so trendy, and everyone is talking about PDRN and all sorts of things, right? But there's the courage to actually say no and saying, no, we're not going to innovate in that direction. We're not going to introduce those ingredients, despite of the fact that they are so trending, because we know at the heart of our values is, end of the day, it's not really delivering what it should deliver, or it's actually irritating for the skin. So saying no to that, it actually takes a lot of courage, and a lot of pressure comes through when sales needs to come as well, being able to say no to that. Or even in terms of distribution, right? So an example would be very premium brands, for example, in beauty or maybe other categories. For example, in my case, I'm working in HC, right? We often have to say no to certain distribution, right, and certain channels, although that's the easiest way to get the growth. But we would say no, because potentially that is not the right channel where we can build the right consumer experience that's in line with the value of what we stand for as a brand. And actually, we've seen very positive results when we've stayed very focused on our distribution, on the right spaces and places where our consumers are. So that discipline of saying no is very critical also when we talk about long-term impact.
Thank you. Huang, would you like to build?
So again, product superiority. I will repeat the key important thing 3 times. It's like 50. So we need to we really commit and invest on the product operating. Yeah. So this is my secret. Is put a mechanism of tracking the product every quarter. We can take action and stay relevant with the consumer, stay ahead of own competitors, just not the market leader, all of them.
Thank you. And look, from my agency perspective, everything you say resonates a lot, right? I think media background, right? For us, working with partners like yourselves, it's the same sort of mix. It's the same sort of strategic decision making that we have to make. we have to make sure we deliver the fundamentals, the reach, the recency, the mental availability, the memory structures, all of those fundamentals, right? But the way that we do that has to change, has to evolve. And the behaviors that we adapt in channel to deliver those fundamentals, again, has to adapt and evolve. And to your point, Taman, has to be in keeping with the tenets of the brand that we are supporting, right? So it's like a media and marketing alliance, isn't it? Where have we heard that before? Okay, on to the next question, and it's a classic, but super salient. It's the tension that has always existed between delivering short-term business outcomes to your stakeholders, to your shareholders, as well as, of course, making sure that the brand is healthy over the longer term. How do you manage that tension, and how do you deliver one or other or both?
I feel like I am in the interview with my CEO because that's exactly his question right to me in that interview. And I think about one image that is like the chopstick, a pair of chopstick. If we want to pick up a good food, a good meat in the meal, we need to know how to handle a pair of chopstick. When the left chopstick is about the long-term brand impact, because that's the mission of the marketer. We are the brand guardian. If the brand marketer cannot keep about the long-term growth, the long-term mission, who can create it? And the another angle about the short term, because now the business cannot wait for us. I cannot tell to my boss, let wait me for 2 years so I can build a brand, I can deliver the business. I don't think he has such patience. So that's why in the marketing, even we need to have a beyond the long-term activity like the master brand communication, brand building activity, we need to ensure to have an activity in the campaign to support for the uptake. For example, you can see a lot of consumer promotion, activation, or even the limited innovation, whatever the initiative. But it's like about hand in hand between the left chopstick and the right chopstick so that we can pick up the good meal. Yeah, so that's my answers.
Thank you.
I want to touch up a little bit on what Nin said, shared earlier. I like it very much that it should be the brand, it shouldn't be our ego. Because think about it, what's the point of you run the brand, you go out and you tell people, oh, I used to run this brand, it's dead now. It's pretty sad, right? Too much to explain later as well. So it's in your interest to take good care of the brand so that it survives long term too, while it's delivered today. Typically, we ask two questions. Number one, whatever choice we are making, is it going to kill you today? Second, whatever you are going to decide, would it cause irreversible damage that you cannot fix? And then you wait it out. However, the trick is not about where you want to put your weight behind which feet. Rather, you need to be decisive and you need to align. You need to align with your team, you need to align with your boss, because whatever happens, the team that is aligned could survive it better. Once you have those clarity and sort of like foothold in your mind, then let it unfold, but keep constant monitoring. You could think of a third way of solving it. Sometimes it's not just about short term, long term. But first thing first, decide and align. If not, you'll be in limbo and then it doesn't bring you any good.
Okay, I align with and a good marketer needs to do both, like try the sales volume and then we try the long-term brand equity. So in Mexico, we have the very new framework we call Grow Navigator. So it will guide us how to grow the brand every quarter. The first one is the product, product quality. We need to ensure we win all of the competitor in the market. Second one is the address the brand distinction. We need to serve the consumer needs in a distinctive way. The third one, sorry. The third one is saliency. Need to ensure that we always in the top of mind of their, and also like build the memory structure when they think of assets. Therefore, when they see it, they can link quickly to our brand. The fourth one, availability and visibility. We need to win in store. And the five is the best price architecture linked to the value. So marketer, we influence on of the five key pillars. And for us, we own the product, um, distinction, and also saliencies. And then we work with the sales team and also the other RGM team, net revenue management, to ensure that we offer the pricing and the price back. So just give you the one example. So we have like Lay's canister. It's the really premium format in potato chips. The pricing is 150% versus the normal one. So we translate that kind of premium positioning into packaging paper, premium one, and we also translate into the small bag, because we know that to expand the category, to recruit the new user, we need to have the entry bag, the trial one, 40 gram, under $20,000. So just influence this kind of product bag and pricing, we already get the growth 80% this year, while the category just grows single digit. Therefore, from my point of view, as a marketer, we not only talking about brand communication, talking about the campaigns. Actually, we can do it like through the product, to the back pricing, etc., and get the number immediately. Yeah.
Thank you. We're reaching the end of the session, so quick fire round. All of you, in as close to one sentence as you can. Is there one thing that our leaders should do today to help assure success in the future? Nin, let's go with you first, if that's okay.
Okay. So I think like to succeed in the future, so we need to go beyond the marketing leader. We need to become the business leader. So otherwise they think all we do is just about to build a brand. We need to have a business impact, and Hoàng already mentioned a lot about it. And I also feel agree, and we also in the same business agenda. Yeah, we do in marketing, but like we are the business leader to contribute for the business.
Dan?
Right. So understand your value chain, comma, champion your customer with your organization. Because you are the pretty much one of the two functions that look outside to bring in what the value chain should align to compete.
Taman?
I'll borrow some words from our global CMO, which I really like. In this era of marketing, we need to be poets and plumbers. So we need to be poets to create the story for the brand, the soul of the brand, in a very intimate way for the consumers. We also need to be a plumbers by night that spread it through and win the algorithm and tools and technology and AI, because without that, the beautiful story we've created is never going to spread.
And to me, obsessed with consumers. Stay relevant with them and stay ahead of the competitors. That's it.
Brilliant. We're bang on time. Hope you're happy. Thank you, everyone. Great conversation, great energy, great passion. I really appreciate it. We will be available for questions in the auditorium. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you to our moderator and thank you to our panelists.